Coach, you had to use a lot of guys off the bench helping out today.
Yeah.
Obviously, missing a lot of regular guys. How do you think the guys that stepped in or haven't gotten maybe much time prior, that got some time, how did they do?
Yeah, I thought like it was a next man up mentality. You know how it is, and like that's the beauty of the G League. Like, you got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to take things in as they come. And I thought our guys did a great job of that. Like, this was, I told the guys, I mean, if we could do this against Iowa and Sioux Falls, who are record-wise one of the two best teams in the league, if we keep doing this and keep trusting our process, and like, if you look at from where we were from Thanksgiving break to like now, I think we've definitely gotten a lot better. So it's just a next man up mentality, and these guys really enjoy playing with each other, and I really love their togetherness.
You mentioned Iowa and Sioux Falls, two of the better teams, obviously, in the Central. You guys won definitively. Could have had this one too. You were in control of it. What does that tell you about the team the last two games, especially playing against these higher-end teams, top of the division, that you guys were not only competing but at points significantly outplaying these teams?
Yeah, I think it's just it's a credit to them and the work they put in. I think confidence comes from like the work and trusting the process, and that's been our big theme. This first half of the season is trusting our process, finding our identity, and it's hard to compete and execute when you don't have an identity. So that's something that we've really been harping on with these guys.
You mentioned identity. Do you see it come into form? What do you kind of envision it being? And maybe did these last two games give you a better idea of it?
Yeah, I think defensively, obviously we could have done better, especially in that third quarter defensively, but I think our offense kind of helped with that. If you don't value possessions, you turn the ball over and you take tough shots, it's hard to get back in transition defense. It's almost impossible with some of these teams. So I really think the ball moved. I think we had over 30 assists for the first time. But I really think guys are playing with the right intentions to make others better on both sides of the ball. Whether it's in rotations or defensively, it's closeouts offensively. Like, you want to try to impact others the best you can. I thought we did that for the most part today. Yeah, it's been it's funny. We were just talking about that as a staff. Our third quarter starts the past couple games have not been great. Been a little lethargic, and we played these guys a week ago, and it was kind of the same thing. And I thought our offense kind of let them back in the game just with the turnovers. Couldn't really struggle to find an offensive rhythm in that third quarter. I think that's what kind of got them back in the game. They were able to get on transition, and I think they're, if not one of the best transition teams in the league. Do that you're allowed to let a team like that back into the game. You're going to get results like you did tonight.
Now you face Josh Christopher once again, right? He drops 30+ again on you all. What has been difficult in containing him?
No, the one thing I would say with him is like he gets his stuff in like all facets of the game, like in transition, in the half court obviously, and then there's second chance opportunities, like when Williams and those guys are on the glass, like he also provides those spray out opportunities. So I mean, he's a really good player, and he's got a bright future. I'm a big fan of him.
And my final question for you, Domask has been playing extremely well these last couple of months, Coach. Looks very comfortable. Yep. What's been different?
I think he's been putting in the work, trusting his process, and to his credit, I think this is the best he's been playing all year. I think he's finally starting to understand the G League and the pro game. And sometimes it's a little bit of an adjustment. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, for rookies to kind of find their groove. But I think him investing on the defensive side and then kind of impacting the games in other ways has allowed him to kind of build some confidence where he had a performance like he did tonight.
Coach, the way this game was being played really shifted coming out of the locker room in the second half in terms of, I think by my count, only 6 points for Sioux Falls was in the paint, or outside of the paint in that first half versus, starting a 3-point shootout afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the challenge in trying to navigate a team where the game's kind of gone topsy-turvy like that? It's a completely different game than what they started with. What's the challenge in trying
to find ways to kind of throw them off the rhythm, to your point, whether it's changing defenses, which we did. I thought we did a really good job of that. Our staff did a good job. Amadou, Ugoji, and Brandon Watkins kind of handled our defense. So I thought those guys did a really good job just kind of throwing them off, their base coverages in the half court. But I think when you get a team like that out in transition, that's when they start getting a rhythm. Josh Christopher starts feeling good. Nasir Little feels good. Stevens and all those guys start feeling good, and that's where you start getting into trouble. So it's really trying to control the things you control, because there's so much in this game you can't control. It's like, if we could control everything, we'd be undefeated right now. But that's not how this game goes. So, but we're going to learn from this. We're going to clean this up tomorrow, and then we're going to be ready to go against Indiana on Sunday.
Yeah, just looking ahead, this was already mentioned, down a couple guys, 4-9. I think you're still in a great spot, seeing what we saw for a majority of the game today. What's the message in the locker room to keep your guys, head on the swivel, head in the right direction?
Yeah, there's obviously times where you could push them a little bit, but also times to commend them on their effort. And obviously, this is a professional league. Like, there's no moral victories per se, but I thought like this game in Sioux Falls got us good. I think we're going to be better for it, and but I'm really proud of the effort, and obviously we struggled in the third quarter there, but I thought they responded in the fourth quarter. We ended up winning that quarter by 2, and at the end of the game, we put ourselves a chance to tie to go in overtime, or a chance to take the lead and win the game. So, but ultimately, I'm just really happy and proud of these guys with their effort.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.